welcome to the news hour on MLC TV. My name is Morno Balagubo. First, the headlines. African First Ladies arrive Abuja for 9th General Assembly of Peace Mission. KOGI State Governor's wife promises support to NOWA. Sudan's military reinstates ousted Prime Minister. And Super Falcons begin campaign in Abuja ahead of 2022 AWCON qualifier against the Lady Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. And now the news in full. African First Ladies are arriving in Nigeria ahead of the 9th General Assembly of the African First Ladies Peace Mission, AFLPM, slated to hold on Monday, 22nd November 2021 in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. So far, Nigerian First Lady Aisha Buhari has received Burundian First Lady Angeline Ndayishimiye, the First Lady of Sao Tome, Maria de Fatima Villanova, and the First Lady of Sierra Leone, Fatima Maida Bayo. Buhari also received Opa Mochinguri Kashiri, Minister of Defense and War Veterans in Zimbabwe, Taura Nasanebe, Minister of Women, Family and Children, Cote d'Ivoire, and Naha Chaika Sidia, the Minister of Social Action, Children, Mauritania. It will be recalled that the AFLPM was established in 1997 as an umbrella body of wives of African heads of state and government to play a supportive role to the African Union, regional organizations, and national governments in fostering peace and reducing conflicts and their effects on the African continent. Contractors in KOGI State have been asked to suspend work on road projects across the state to allow for free flow of traffic before and during the Yuletide. According to the Federal Controller of Works in KOGI, Chimo Kajogbola, the directive came from the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola. The contractors are to stop work from the second week in December and resume in January 2022. The controller added that the directive was to ease the suffering of travelers as they travel to celebrate Christmas and the New Year. He said that several proactive steps, including the stoppage of work by contractors, had been taken to forestall the usual gridlocks on the expressway during the period. Kajogbola said letters on the stoppage of work had been issued to contractors handling road construction, reconstruction and rehabilitation, as well as special and emergency repairs across the state. He said 1 out of the 3 contractors handling the special repairs work had completed his job, while 2 others had been issued warning letters to avoid further delay. Senator Smart Adeyemi commends Yaya Adoza Bello, the executive governor of KOGI State, for his donation to a Save a Life in KOGI State. The distinguished commends the governor for his generous donation of 2,500,000 naira to the family of Boluaji Obahopos, the KOGI State Vanguard correspondent, whose wife is critically lying ill as a result of accident that claimed not less than 5 precious lives almost 2 weeks ago along Okene Benin Road. Adeyemi said he was encouraged by the response of the governor as he immediately donated the sum of 1 million naira to the Boluaji's family, who he called a friend, professional colleague, and indeed a brother, to complement the efforts of the governor and to save a precious soul of a constituent. The distinguished senator also extended his appreciation towards the efforts put in place by AWCON Development Association, UDA, ably led by her president, Barrister Femi Mokikan, in mobilizing supports for the family, and equally called on well-meaning Nigerians and co-guides to rally around the family as the time to save a soul is now. KOGI State First Lady Rashida Bello has called on Nigerian women to continue to make positive contributions to the development of humanity. Rashida made the call during the visit of the Naval Officers' Wives Association, NOWA, in her office in Lokoja. The NOWA National President, Nana Aisha Gambo, solicited the support of the KOGI State First Lady, Rashida Bello, to meet the needs of women and youths in the barracks across the country.
NOWA National President, in a company of wives and members of the officers, commended Kogi State Governor's wife, Rashida Bello, for efforts put in place to make life comfortable for many women and vulnerable ones in the society. Aisha Gambo explained that the association had continued to empower women and youth as well as support orphanages in the country, but needed the support of the state's government to do more.
My pet project. It came to mind on the realization that so many communities in Nigeria lack access to clean water. This is an obvious and disturbing reality in this fast developing world. Hence, I felt we have to support the government efforts by assisting to provide clean water to as many communities as possible within my tenure. The project is strategically designed to provide borehole to source community across 36 states of Nigeria, including the FCT, Federal Capital Territory. May I humbly inform the First Lady, so far, over 53 boreholes have been completed in various locations across the country.
She pointed out that NOWA had done remarkably in providing quality education, vocational training, as well as empowerment for orphans, widows, and youths.
Your Excellency, ma'am, NOWA is a non-governmental organization established to promote love, harmony, cooperation amongst its members and their families. The association has grown exponentially into an international philanthropic organization. NOWA contributes positively to the socio-economic life and well-being of Nigerians by providing quality education, vocational training, and other charitable activities, as well as economic empowering programs for women, widows, orphans, and youths, amongst others, just like the ABUJA Rashida Bello Foundation.
The First Lady Rashida Bello called on Nigerian women to continue to make positive contributions towards the development of humanity.
For you to have the zeal to work, you have given water to almost 13 states in Nigeria. That's a huge one. Well done. I think you have given to 26 states. So well, you're almost done with the 33 states. Honestly speaking, I am making this announcement today that I am going to help you in completing the remaining states.
First Lady appreciated NOWA for the visit and promised to collaborate with any individual or organization in supporting the well-being of orphans, women, and youths.
So I welcome you once again to Kogi State, Confluent States of Nigeria. I am looking forward to many collaborations. I'm looking forward to many programs that will promote the well-being of women and children in not just my state, but Nigeria at large. So please, wherever you need my assistance, don't hesitate to let me know, and I'll also take your request to my husband, and I'll make sure I follow up to achieve it.
Rashida Bello further promised to support NOWA in providing more boreholes in 10 states among many states where NOWA has already provided potable water. Highlights of the event were dinner and the visit of NOWA to some orphanages in the state where food items worth thousands of naira were donated. The First Lady Rashida Bello joined the NOWA National President to commission a shopping mall at the Naval Barracks Banda and the laying of foundation of the second phase. Thereafter, they visited 3 major orphanages and motherless homes to donate consumables and non-consumable items for the children. Followed was a dinner night organized by the First Lady Rashida Bello to honor NOWA National President Aisha Gambo.
You call a woman Africa woman, no go pay. Let's see if I'm I walk a short to be a happy weather in Africa. So call me, just this one to say, yeah.
Hajia Gambo maintained that NOWA had contributed positively to the life and well-being of Nigerians by providing quality education, vocational training, as well as economic empowerment for orphans, widows, women, and youths. She promised not to relent in her hours to keep the NOWA mission alive across the country, Nigeria. Fatima Yakub reporting for MLC TV.
The member representing Yagba Federal Constituency in the National Assembly, Leke Abejide, has decried the poor facilities at the Secretariat of the Nigerian Union of Journalists in Lokoja. Abejide, who made a brief stopover at the Union Secretariat while on his way to the Congress of African Democratic Congress in Lokoja, said journalists deserve a better working environment. Apparently worried that the units of the air conditioners he earlier donated to the union have not been put to use, the lawmaker promised to donate a 20 kVA generator to reduce the power problems at the Secretariat. He described the media as a bridge between the government and governed and urged journalists to abide by the ethics of the profession at all times. Responding, the KOGI State Chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Adeza Momo Jimo, appreciated the lawmaker for his numerous assistance to the union. Adeza said the lawmaker's intervention in education has brought succor to parents and students whose WAEC and NECO fees he pays annually in his federal constituency. Adeza promised the collaboration in support of all working journalists in the state through the programs and policies of Abejide. Ekiti emerges overall winner of NAFES 2021. They beat Rivers, which came second to the first position. Reacting to the victory, Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi said there was no partiality in awarding the first position to Ekiti. He said every state that participated in the festival is a winner. Bayelsa and Benue states came third, while Delta and Nasarawa came fourth. Lagos, Ogun, and FCT came fifth. The state Israel has called for Nigeria to maximize the availability of opportunities of collaboration between both countries. The call was made on Thursday in Abuja at the annual general meeting of the Nigerian Israel Business Forum, NIBF. The head of the Israeli Trade and Economic Mission to West Africa, Ayelet Levin-Karp, on Zoom from Ghana, refers to Israel as a startup nation that has passed through many challenges to get to where it is today.
The event attracted dignitaries from within and outside Nigeria. The head of the Israeli Trade and Economic Mission to West Africa, Ayelet Levin-Karp, said Israel has been able to break through various sectors of the economy, from water to agriculture, health, cyber, fintech, and so much more. She believes that Nigeria could benefit from the country's progress in these areas.
We were not blessed with major natural resources. That, put together, was very challenging for Israel when it started, but thankfully, throughout the years, Israel was able to develop a very stable and thriving economy. And here are just some numbers, to give us some idea of what we're talking about. A very good GDP, per capita, credit rate is quite good, and so on. And this was mostly possible by what we call the nation, by relying on our main and maybe only natural resources, which is our human capital and the people of Israel, and what we call the nation of innovation.
The Chargé d'Affaires of the Embassy of Israel, Yotam Kreeman, while speaking to newsmen, called for more collaboration between businesses in Nigeria and Israel, and also among governments.
Through the forum, the businesses are huge and ongoing and growing. It's hard to estimate an exact cost because the forum is also inspire more members to join every day and more companies to take part. It is an opportunity for both Nigerian companies and Israeli companies to work together on a company-to-company level, on a business-to-business, what it's called, and also on a business-to-government and government-to-government level. So we do have a lot of collaborations that are coming out from the Nigeria-Israel Business Forum that has been very active in recent years. In the last 2 years, the forum had to take a step back because of the COVID and limit the number of meetings, conferences, and events organized under the umbrella of the Nigeria-Israel Business Forum. But now, when COVID is being reduced, as more and more people are taking the vaccinations and life is slowly going back to its track, we are able to accommodate more events in the upcoming years.
Keynote Speaker Honorable Segun Dokun Odebumi, member of the House of Representatives and Chairman House Committee on Information, acknowledged Nigeria's deficiencies and called on Israel to offer assistance in the area of technological development in agriculture and security.
Government to government have been working together, but there's need for us. You know, even when the government is driving a kind of technology, they can't drive it alone. They need their own citizens. They need to provide an enabling environment for their citizens to mix with other countries so that they can key into that kind of technologies you are thinking of that you can bring into the country for the benefit of the nations.
The president of NIBF, Pat Grace Owusi, whilst spoke on a way forward and how Nigeria businesses and Israeli businesses could work together. Israel and Nigeria have been into partnership for over 60 years to promote bilateral relationships between both countries. Israel and Nigeria have been into partnership for over 60 years to promote bilateral relationships between both countries. Magramiri Osuji, MLC TV, Abuja.
To promote healthy living among residents of Adankolo Lokoja and its environment, Chapel of Freedom International Churches, with the headquarters in Lokoja, has facilitated a healthcare initiative for rural development. No fewer than 200 people were tested and provided with free medication for malaria, hypertension, and diabetes, amongst others. They were also given appropriate health talk on benefits of exercise, good food, and resting. Speaking to newsmen after the program, David Azogun, one of the beneficiaries, said this is quite impressive as he has been tested for free and got drugs, something he said he cannot afford personally. Esther Stanford and Amina Musa, also beneficiaries, thanked the church and the General Overseer of the Chapel of Freedom, Lokoja, Bishop Johnny Benu, for the initiative to save lives. You're still watching MLC TV News. We've got more stories for you right after the break. Please do stay with us.
Malachi TV Online is here. For your timely and reliable news that reaches you fast with the breaking news, choose MLC TV. Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV with entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV. MLC TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
Glad to have you back with us. A social cultural group, Edo Professionals Against Injustice EPI, on Saturday described as primitive and unacceptable the false claims by the National Association of Polytechnic Students, NAPS, that the federal government no longer accepts MSc holders but professors and PhD holders as rectors in all the polytechnic institutions in Nigeria. Convener of the Professional Colleagues Against Injustice, Arch Justice Edosa, said the attention of our group has been drawn to an online publication on the recent interview for the appointment of a rector in Auchi Polytechnic. The author of the said article is an imposter based in Kaduna and being sponsored by one of the contestants for the office who had earlier left the Polytechnic under very questionable circumstances. He called on the federal government and the Minister of Education, Adamu, to do the needful and ensure that the best man for the job is picked, particularly as the institution has witnessed unprecedented peace and harmonious coexistence under the leadership of a former acting rector whose pedigree is top-notch. According to him, the joint unions on campus are desirous of having a credible and tested candidate and not a person of questionable character as a substantive rector. A civil society organization, Conscience Nigeria, has described allegations of corruption against the House of Representatives Committee on Finance and Federal Inland Revenue (FIR) as laughable. In a statement issued by the group's secretary, Comrade Hussein Mohammed, on Sunday, Conscience Nigeria said the allegation made by Senator Dino Melaye-led Anti-Corruption Network (ACN) on the budgeting system in Nigeria is preemptive. As a patriotic, decent and responsible civil society organization, we have painstakingly studied the statement and observed deliberate inaccuracies against the House Committee on Finance in the House of Representatives and Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS). The group said it has always monitored the strict compliance of the House Committee on Finance to budgetary processes and has no doubt as to the committee's sense of patriotism and fairness. We'll go on a short break right now. Please do stay with us. We'll be right back for more news.
Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV with entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV.
Glad to have you back with us on MLC TV News. Igbo Community Association in Kogi State has honored the chairman of Care Foundation and a frontline APC leader in Ajaokuta local government area, Sani Abdurrahim, with a prestigious award of excellence. According to the Igbo community, the award was in recognition of Honorable Abdurrahim's service to humanity, leadership quality, epitome of development, and a political icon. The award ceremony, which took place at the Lokoja International Stadium, was described by the awardees as a moment of great joy and fulfillment. Responding to this prestigious award, Sani Abdurrahim said he has dedicated the award to Governor Yaya Bello, who he said gave him the platform to be able to reach out to the people at the grassroots. He further explained that the Igbo community in Lokoja has contributed immensely to the development of Kogi State and Governor Yaya Bello's New Direction government. He maintained that as a friend of the Igbo community, he will continue to join hands with them to continue to work for the overall success of the Governor Yaya Bello's programs and policies, and also for the success of the All Progressive Congress (APC). Other recipients include the Executive Governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello, former Kogi Governor Ibrahim Idris, the Deputy Governor of Kogi State, Edward Onoja, and others are GYB's Director Research and Development, Moses Okezie. The Honorable Rep Member, Kogi Lokoja Federal Constituency, Shaba Ibrahim, Chris Adige, Chancellor, Federal University of Lokoja, and 42 others. Group known as Volunteer for Ahmed Bola Tinubu 2023 at the weekend was inaugurated in Edo State. Speaking during the inauguration of the group, the chairman of the occasion, Rasak Bello Osage, said the group is out to ensure that the two-time former governor of Lagos, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, presidency on the platform of the All Progressive Congress (APC) comes 2023. While charging the group to spread the gospel of Tinubu's presidency to Nigerians, he said they are committed to ensuring its actualization. Earlier, Ratcliffe Atari, a volunteer from Rivers State, urged politicians to move away from the traditional ways of campaigns, from criticism to issues-based. He said Lagos State today has become the role model for other states in terms of development because of Tinubu's foundation, roadmap, and blueprint. He said the group is made up of people of like minds who want Tinubu to be president in 2023. An APC governorship aspirant in Zamfara in the 2019 governorship election, Sagi Hamida, was killed by unknown gunmen on Sunday evening, a family source has confirmed. News Agency of Nigeria gathered from the deceased elder brother Kabiru Hamida that Sagi was killed near Abuja while he was returning from the weekend. Kabiru, who said the family members were still gathering details of what happened from the authorities, and possible eyewitnesses explained that details could only be made available by Monday. NAN reports that Sergei Hamida, an Abuja-based businessman and former director in the Federal Civil Service, aspired for the governorship of Zamfara under the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in 2011, but lost at the party's primary elections. Hamida returns to the Yari faction of the APC in the state, with the defection of the state governor Bello Matawale from the PDP to the APC to fight Matawale's leadership of the party in the state, a position he held until he was killed. Also speaking over the development, the Director General of Media to the governor, Yusuf Idris, told NAN that the governor received the information with shock. A graduate of Abia State Polytechnic named Ugochukwu Chinyere has reportedly been killed by police officers attached to the Aba Area Command of the Nigerian Police Force (NPF) over the failure to receive 50 naira bribe from a motorcyclist. Ugochukwu, an indigene of Umwekwensu community in Uhuru Isimiri Obingwa local government area of the state, is an orphan who was sponsored by his poor extended family to go to the Polytechnic and become successful in life. Ugochukwu was allegedly shot by one Yaya-led team of police officers who were at a checkpoint in front of a popular meteorological complex on Obika Umukalika Road in Obingwa local government area. The motorcyclist, whose name was yet to be ascertained, was shot on the leg by one of the police officers attached to the Azuka police station in Aba North local government area and is currently receiving treatment at the hospital. Christopher Uduagu, an eyewitness to the Uhuru Isimiri shooting, while narrating the incident, said Ugochukwu Chinyere was a passenger in a motorcycle going to Ubikabia Junction. A police source who condemned the shooting of the innocent citizens, however, claimed that the Azuka incident happened after the police got intelligence that the youths were coming to attack the Azuka police station. A lecturer identified as Ahmed Saeed and an undergraduate student of Michael Otedola College of Primary Health Education in Epe local government area of Lagos State have been murdered. The lecturer was said to have been killed around Poko Town in Epe, while the student identified as Razak Bakare was shot dead on campus. A police source told our reporters that both incidents, which he described as unfortunate, occurred within 48 hours interval. The deaths of the lecturer and the student were confirmed by lawmakers and traditional rulers of the communities. They said while the student was trailed and killed on Wednesday, the lecturer was shot dead on Friday. Presently, there is uneasy in the academic community of Poka. According to the Alidoshoyi of Odo Noforoji in Ekpe division of Babatunde Ogunlaja, the traditional ruler of the community has expressed sadness over the incidents. He therefore called on the management of the institution to install closed-circuit television CCTV cameras within and around the school premises. Ogunlaja also appealed to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and the Commissioner of Police Hakeem Odumosu to deploy more security personnel in the community. Host communities of Oil Well Obiavo 50B5, operated by the Nigerian Ajib Oil Company in Omoku Ogba, Egbemau, Doni local government area of Rivers State, are now living in fear following attack on the company's facility by suspected militant group. Reports gathered that a new militant group in the Niger Delta region under the aegis of the Bayan Men blew up the said facility on Tuesday night. Leader of the Bayan Men group, who gave his name simply as General in Port Harcourt yesterday, noted that the action was due to the refusal of the firm to allow the people benefit from their operation in the area, adding that the firm was neck-deep in divide and rule. The general said the only thing they want Ajib to do is to deal directly with the 27 communities of Omoku, according to the federal government resolution. They don't want Ajib to be negotiating with anybody. They should deal with the communities. If they continue to like this, what we have done now, it's small to what we will do. They should not keep us together and treat us as one. They should treat communities individually. The Coordinator General of Omoku Community Youth Leaders Forum, Ikeku Pureheart, who confirmed the incident, disclosed that the development was as a result of a failure of ABUJA to adhere to the demands of the people. He called for the intervention of the federal government in the matter to prevent further damages. And now to news on the foreign scene. Fresh unrest has erupted in the Netherlands against new lockdown rules amidst rising COVID-19 cases in Europe. People hurled fireworks at police and set fire to bicycles in the Hague one night after protests in Rotterdam turned violent and police opened fire. Its regional director of World Health Organization, Hans Klotz, told the BBC that unless measures were tightened across Europe, 500,000 more deaths could be recorded by the next spring. The unrest follows a night of riots in Rotterdam, condemned by the city's mayor as an orgy of violence. Police fired warning shots and direct shots because the situation was life-threatening, a police spokesperson told Reuters news agency. At least 3 demonstrators are receiving hospital treatments for gunshot wounds, officers said, and authorities have launched an investigation into the incident. The Netherlands imposed a 3-week partial lockdown last Saturday after recording a record spike in COVID-19 cases. Bars and restaurants must close at 8 p.m. and crowds are banned at sports events. Sudan's ousted Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok has been reinstated following last month's coup when he was put under house arrest. The BBC reports that he has appeared on the TV to sign a new power-sharing agreement with coup leader General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan amid continuing mass protests. But the civilian coalition that nominated Hamdok as Prime Minister 2 years ago refused to acknowledge any new deal. The pact had been struck with a gun to his head, a spokesperson told the BBC. On the streets of the capital, Khartoum, the security forces have fired tear gas at protesters marching towards the presidential palace and demanding the military's complete withdrawal from politics. Since the 25th of October, when the military declared a state of emergency and dissolved the civilian leadership, at least 40 people have died in mass protest against the coup. Hamdok said he had agreed to deal to stop the violence. Under the agreement, the reinstated Prime Minister will lead a cabinet of technocrats until elections are held. But it is unclear how much power the new civilian government will have, as it will be the subject to military oversight. Hamdok told Al Jazeera the deal gave him complete freedom to inform his government and hold elections before July 2023. It also allows the release of political prisoners. Far-right former legislator Josh Antonio Cast will meet left-wing activist Gabriel Boric in Chile's presidential runoff on the 19th of December. With nearly 97% of the vote counted on Sunday, Josh Antonio Cast had 27.94% versus 25.75% for Gabriel Boric, with a sizable gap between them and the rest of the field. Both were well short of the majority needed for an outright win, meaning Chile is headed for what is likely to be a polarized runoff next month. The election is Chile's most divisive since its 1990 return to democracy, splitting voters between those seeking a shake-up of the Andean country's free market model and those demanding a harder line against crime and immigration. Sunday's vote comes after 2 years of sometimes violent protest by Chileans demanding quality of life improvements. The demonstrations helped bring about an ongoing rewrite of the nation's Pinochet-era constitution and propelled the candidacy of Boric, who for much of the race held a comfortable lead. Most opinion polls had Cast winning the most votes by a few percentage points, as appeared to be the case on Sunday evening. The likely runoff on the 19th of December will be extremely competitive. Now over to Jonah Malik for the sports news.
Welcome to Sports Updates. Nigeria's national senior female football team, the Super Falcons, will on Monday begins campaigning in Abuja ahead of their final round of the 2022 African Women's Cup Nation AWCON qualifiers against Lady Elephants of Ivory Coast. The 9-day campaigning will commence from 22nd through 30th November and is aimed at further improving the bond, affinity, and familiarity among the group, as well as the coordination of tactical and technical method that will best work for the squad in matches situation. There are 15 home-based players and 15 foreign-based players. Leading the home girls are forward Gift Monday and Vivian Ikechukwu, who scored 2 goals each during the Aisha Buhari Invitational Tournament in Lagos in September. And there are also goalkeeper Onyechukwu Okeke, defender Akudo Ogbonna, midfielder Goodness Onyebuchi, and forward Mary Ann Ezenagu. Striker Okpara Nozie leads the overseas-based crew alongside midfielder Rashidat Ajibade, defenders Patricia George and Ashley Plumpter, and defender Onome Ebi. Straight to Europe, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been sacked as Manchester United manager after an embarrassing 4-1 defeat at Watford. In the interim, United have confirmed Michael Carrick will be temporarily charged with the club, also revealing their intention to appoint an interim manager until the end of the season. Solskjaer signed a new 3-year deal in July but leaves after overseeing 5 defeats in their last 7 Premier League matches, a run which sees them 12 points behind top leaders Chelsea. But his position was discussed by United officials on Saturday evening following the crushing defeat at Watford before the announcement of his dismissal followed on Sunday morning. That is Sports Update on MLC TV. I am Malik Jonah.
Alright, over now to Matthias Ayodeji for the updates coming from the entertainment scene. Do stay with us.
On entertainment news today, BAP Production has secured the right to produce a biopic based on Nigeria heroine Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. Set to be directed by Bolanle Austin Peters, the film, which is intended to hit the big screens in 2022-2023, will reportedly follow the legendary activist's life, reflecting on her multifaceted paths, with a working title Funmilayo, the Lioness of Lesabi. The biopic will also feature cameos from Kuti's grandchildren, Femi, Yeni Kuti, and great-grandchild, Made Kuti. Confirming BAP's latest acquisition, Peters said, having directed the stage version of the story of great women such as Queen Moremi, Olurombi, and Fela and the Kolakuta Queens, the story of the 27 women that danced and married Fela and Nicola Kuti, I am interested in telling the story of this phenomenal woman, Funmilayo. She was a woman of many parts and was first in many things. She was the first girl to attend an all-boys school, first woman to drive a car in Western Nigeria. She was also a political activist who fought for the rights of women, was the first woman to found a political party, and she confronted traditional rulers and colonial authorities in unprecedented mass protests. Apart from this, she was a loving wife, mother who raised 4 successful children, including Fela. According to Peters, the biopic will star Kehinde Bankole, Joke Silva, Omar Omidada, and Ibrahim Suleiman. Still on entertainment news, Nigerian movie veteran Babatunde Omidina, popularly known as Baba Suwe, is dead. The death of the movie star was announced by his son Adishola on Monday, November 22, 2021. This is to announce the sudden death of my father, Mr. Babatunde Omidina, the legend Regent Baba Suwe, who passed on November 22, 2021. Other details will follow shortly. May your soul rest in peace, Dad. Signed by Adishola Omidina, he wrote. Born on August 22, 1958 in Inabare Street in Lagos Island, where he grew up, Baba Suwe originally hailed from the Ikorodu area of Lagos. Baba Suwe began acting in 1971 but came into limelight after he featured in a movie titled Omolaso, a film produced by Obalende. He became popular after the feature in Iruesin, produced by Olaya Igwe in 1997. He has featured and produced several Nigerian movies such as Baba Jaye Jaye, May his soul rest in peace. And that is all on entertainment news today. My name is Matthias Ayodeji Peter, reporting for MLC TV. Back to our caster for more stories.
Thank you, Matthias, for that update. And on a sad note, the founder and general overseer of Christ Pentecostal Mission in Ajao Estate, Lagos, is dead. A statement signed by Reverend John U. Ueze, coordinator CPM International Imo State, Nigeria, and member Board of Trustees, said, saddled with a responsibility and authority vested on him to all sons, daughters, friends and lovers of Christian Pentecostal Mission International CPM, to make an official announcement that the founder and the general overseer of the Christian Pentecostal Mission International, Reverend Dr. O. Ezekiel, has gone to be with the Lord just a few days ago. Before his departure, he had been telling us to keep the vision alive and the fire burning, that the mantle is with us, the glory is with us, while he goes to wait for us to come over when the time is ripe. He has left his mantle with us to continue where he stopped, to move CPM to the next level. Transform triumphantly our general till we'll meet at Jesus' feet. And that's our package today. Thanks for watching. Do ensure you follow us on all our social media platforms. Facebook is MLC TV, Instagram is MLCV 2021, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Malachite YouTube. Thanks for watching. Once again, my name is Warno Balagubu. To have a wonderful day.